Deepa is a distinguished chartered accountant and a company secretary. She also holds certifications from ICAI on forensic audit as well as information systems audit. She has over 2 decades of solid internal audit experience spread across industries and also working with professional services firms. She has worked with Haribhakti and Company in the past. She is currently heading the internal audit division at Muthoot Housing Finance, and she has done forensic investigations, ITGC reviews, operational reviews, data analytics, and all that you can dream of as a risk and internal audit professional. So we are indeed honored that Deepa has agreed to be the speaker at the Excellencia series today. And she's going to speak on the regulatory landscape and with a lot of emphasis on her practical experiences on leading the audit function in the housing finance company and quite a lot of real life case studies that she would have come across. And I'm sure that the session is going to be a very interesting session and an absorbing one for all of us. So we'll hear Deepa for about 40-45 minutes, and then we will open the floor for question and answers.
A very good evening to all, and very big thanks to Josefa sir and his team to giving me this opportunity to be part of the Excellencia team. I always try to attend Excellencia series, and it's such a good initiative by sir. He always work in Haribhakti also. I worked with him, and every month on Saturdays he would like to have a knowledge session with all the team members. So thanks a lot. I'll start my presentation. I am a CACS and I'm working in HFC since long. The topic is regulatory landscape and fraud risk in housing finance sector. So I have tried to keep it per se to the HFC sector only, but HFC is a kind of NBFC, and with the new guidelines of RBI, whatever is relevant for banks today or tomorrow, it will be going to be relevant for the HFC. That is the way they are functioning. So this is CDLC is my short form, CA Deepa Learning Center. As elaborated by Sir, I am at present working in Muthoot Housing Finance as head internal audit. Overall, I'm having a 27 plus years of experience in internal audit. So RBI regulatory compliances, as I said, these are few of the important RBI regulatory compliances which I will be basing here. This is a lot of verbatim. I'll just make it short. I just got it from the NHB website, so I thought to make everyone aware of the same. So what happened that in around 1985-90, it was identified the non-availability of long-term finance to individual households on any significant scale as a major lacuna impending progress of the housing sector, and there was a recommendation of setting up of a national level institution. So the committee was set up, and it was at that time under the chairmanship of Dr. C. Rangarajan, the then deputy governor. He gave the proposal of setting up a national housing bank as an autonomous housing finance institution. It was accepted, and at that time, the Honorable Prime Minister of that particular era. Then NHB was set as an apex level institution for housing finance. And the National Housing Policy 1988 was envisaged, the setting up of NHB as the apex level institution for housing. So then the NHB was set up in 9 July 1988, and Reserve Bank of India contributed the entire paid capital, and head office of NHB is at New Delhi. So NHB is in a way 100% used to be regulated by RBI. And now with the issues in HFC, now RBI is indirectly totally governing the housing finance companies' regulations. This is a brief about that HFCs are a type of non-banking financial institutions that primarily deal in financing housing loans. It was completely regulated by National Housing Bank till August 2019. But a lot of people must be aware. Few of the irregularities I will identify in my presentation. Due to some irregularities faced in the housing finance sector, it was felt by central government there is a need to transfer the regulation of HFC from NHB to RBI. So central government by its Finance Act 2019 had amended the provision of section 29A of the NHB Act by replacing the significant powers of NHB with RBI. I would like to go to this click. Maybe it's not open. Why? Just hold on. Not an issue. Let me give it a try. Okay. With the next slide, I will do that. So this is, see now in previously the person, if you want to start an HFC, you need to take in, you need to approach NHB. But with the new guidelines, HFC institution, which is a company desirous of making an application for registration under Section 29A of the National Housing Bank Act 1987, may approach the Department of Non-Banking Regulations, RBI. Companies intending to function as HFC shall seek registration with RBI under Section 29A of NHB Act 1987, and existing HFCs holding already a certificate of registration issued by NHB need not approach RBI for fresh certification of registration. Quite logical. I just thought to share here. So this is something the people who are our audience in this particular forum, and going forward, I hope this is getting recorded when we will circulate this to others. Some may be fully aware of, some may not be. Previously, NHB were having the regulations for running of HFC. There were around 94 or 100 circulars, separate circulars. I am having in my laptop saved somewhere. So there were small 2-3 pages separate circular used to be there for each particular regulation. Now, if you go to NHB website, there are no circulars. Those circulars are not there. Now it has been replaced by this total around 234 pages. HFC, just a second, if it is not opening, I'll go to the website. Yeah, this I want to show to everyone. This is RBI website. Okay, you go to notifications, then you go to master directions. Okay, 20,021, you have to remember, and you go there, it is the Feb of the month that they came with the master directions, non-banking financial company, housing finance company, reserve bank directions 2021, which are updated as on March 21, 24. It is around a 224 pages document that it includes, I think, and the benefit of the audience, let me show a few of the, so this is like this. It is around 242 pages. In this, I would like to highlight here that when you go here, there are a lot of more links. So master directions, scale-based regulations. Then we have KYC, I would like to show. Master directions, know your customer. Master directions, monitoring of frauds. Master directions on information technology. If you click them, you will again go to big circulars. So as I said that the coverage of all the compliances for HFC RBI, I would request if I get an approval from Muzaffar sir and team, I may take more few session coming months and all. So then if supposed to KYC in itself is a big compliance. You go to information technology, is it itself a big compliance? So we will may cover a small bit of them. But I would request the audience and the senior people who are in this team to request their team to go to this circular, and you will not be able to cover the whole circular in one go. But pick up some topics. If you're doing KYC, pick up KYC, study them, and you need to see, as I am again and again saying, RBI gives just a gist of the regulation. How to cover it now, we have the benefit of Google and YouTube. We need to understand it more. I will explain few of the topics here, what I'm trying to say in that. So again, a request, this is RBI guideline. It includes everything. and we need to study each and every page thoroughly. And as an auditor, we should cover it includes liquid coverage ratios, ALM guidelines, lot of policies which a company need to have. Here, I would like to take this opportunity to tell the audience that I'm an auditor, and since last 25 years, I have been an auditor. And in a lot of companies, the compliance is not so much in the forefront. But now with RBI making it very stringent and putting the penalties nowadays, it is becoming more important. So, though the sales is important, but unless you are complied, your company registration get cancelled. Where do you do the sales? So, as an auditor and the chief compliance officers, it is our responsibility to keep on pushing on the compliances. But along with that, we need to see what the challenges are the company facing. It is just not that they don't want to do. What challenges are they facing? So when I report to the board, so a quarterly we report to ACB, we try to tell them that they have some technology challenges, some other issues, so they are trying to comply it. So till the time the company is making an effort to comply as an auditor, we should give a positive impression to the board. But if the management or the company is not even serious about compliance, then we should give a different kind of report. This is a brief from NHP portal only. As on date, we have 82 HFCs which are registered as non-deposit taking and 12 which are registered as deposit taking. So as I was saying that I picked a few of the compliances which I am auditing day in, day out. This sounds to be very simple. So CKYC. CKYC is a central repository of Know Your Customer as per KYC master direction so and so. So in that particular RBI master direction, you have to click on KYC master direction. You will get the whole circular, and I have taken everything from there only. Regulated entities to capture and upload KYC records of the customer within 10 days of commencement of an account-based relationship with the customer. So these terms, I'll tell you that sometimes the audit is what is account-based relationship with the customer when it starts. Does it start at the sanction of the loan? Does it start at the disbursement of the loan? So this line, and I'm telling you, so when we went quite in detail. So I've got my team, and for compliance, we try to see what each word means. So if you go, it is not written in this RBI guideline, it is written somewhere else. When you have a financial relationship with the customer, at that moment, the account-based relationship starts. So within 10 days, you have to upload the KYC records on this CKYC registry. So CKYC improves security by centralizing customer information and makes it easier to detect and prevent fraudulent activities. So it's a very good initiative by government, but the onus is placed on housing finance companies because they have to upload this data, which is a humongous task. It's not an easy task. So it is not just one sheet. It contains so many columns, so many details which an HFC has to fill. If they do it manually, definitely it won't be happening within 10 days. So as an auditor, what we found, so we won't name the companies, we have found that A, CKYC is not happening first time. B, CKYC is not happening within 10 days. So this delay beyond 10 days we have found. So as I was saying, the challenge is that automation. So you need to automate your systems so that you generate those sheets on a automated basis and it happens on time. This is a small process which you may not find at a lot of the places. So see how it happens. So first of all, you have to generate the CKYC data. So that is, suppose you have a system, and normally every entity is having a system. You generate the CKYC data. It is a whole sheet which is generated. Then you have to do a cropping, which is in itself a big job. So the photos and KYC documents need to be cropped to a particular size. So when we audit, we go to the extent that why the delay is happening, because we need to give a RCA to the board. Just saying that delay is happening, it doesn't make much sense for them. So we studied the process, and yes, this is a Muthoot housing finance process, but it is just for information I'm saying. So then they crop the data, they put it in the folders, they arrange the data. Then we run the data in some application, and then we upload the data in the CKYC upload. And after that, when you go to the CKYC portal, you log in there, and then the bulk upload happens. So as an auditor, you should know what is the procedure, how it happens, and we need to check each and every procedure. Now, this is CKYC data. So we check the CKYC data also on a sample basis. If CKYC data includes 10 or 12 or 20 or 50 columns, on a sample basis, we check one particular customer from A to Z from system to CKYC data. So suppose the report is wrong generated and wrongly uploaded to the portal, then it is a system flaw, or if it is a manual intervention, what kind of issue is there? I'm trying to say that just CKYC upload and the timeline delay, further to that, we need to see the accuracy of the data. And this is a very small procedure. So after you upload your data, then you log in into CKYC portal into the next day, then they give you the reports. And they tell you how many CKYC generated successfully, how many CKYC rejected, and other issues. This is a CKYC website link. If you go to this website, there's a lot of information which is there on this particular website. And one more thing, that CKYC, there is a CKYC number which is generated. And I've seen a lot of HFCs and banks, they are not giving these numbers to the customer. So this CKYC number is a big number, 1520 numerical number. It should be given to the customer. So when he again comes for a loan, suppose he has taken loan from Muthoot, and tomorrow he goes to Bajaj. If he shows that CKYC number, then his CKYC need not to be done again. So what happens is, housing finance companies, when they do CKYC, the CKYC portal tells them, see, these 20 people are already having the CKYC number with me. But suppose this CKYC number the customer is already giving, then the HFCs need not do this whole process again and again. So I took recently some of the loan or something else. I got a message that your CKYC number so and so, we have fetched the data. So what I'm trying to say, that I'm trying to, as said better, that how practical and real life situations are there, so that you can relate compliance with the real life situations, and it makes easy when you go to the board or when you go to the management to tell them that how important it is and how can you streamline it. So means we should have some kind of a forum where every HFC auditor or operation person tells.
Not audible.
Not audible.
Now I'll be audible. Okay. Uh, Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, mic was switched off for a second. I don't know from where I'm not audible. Just a second. Yeah. I went fast. So this is about CKYC I was talking about. Then this is CERSAI. CKYC is know your customer. Now what is CERSAI? So this all verbatim we will read. I'll tell you, this is the CERSAI website. It came around 1617. So the main purpose of CERSAI is that we should have a repository of the properties which are registered with housing finance companies. And this is very good. So what will happen with this, that when you are registering your property and another person want to take another loan on this property, then it will be easy for another HFC to check that is there any other loan already taken on this particular property. The objective of setting up the registration system under Chapter 4 of the SERFIC Act is to create a public database about encumbrances created on properties to secure loans and advances given by the banks and financial institutions, as also transactions of securitization, asset reconstruction undertaken pursuant to the provisions of the SERFIC Act. The Act mandated for filing of such particulars, creation of equivalent mortgage, securitization, reconstruction within 30 days of the transaction or a creation of a security. Beyond 30 days, it can be paid with a payment of additional fee up to 60 days. Beyond that, you need to approach central government every satisfaction of charge. So when you create a charge, when you give a loan, that is a creation of charge. When you close a loan, then it is the satisfaction of charge. That also needs to be filed within 30 days of closure of charge. So यहाँ पे what problem happens that the creation does happen, the upload does happen, but again the delay beyond 30 days, which we have observed. So delay beyond 30 days, it is a regulatory non-compliance. So now with the position of Chief Compliance Officer being there, it is important for him to report all these regulatory non-compliances. And see, it sounds very simple that it is beyond 30 days we are doing. What's wrong in that? So, no, you have to follow the regulations. This is the CERSAI website. Click on the, just you type this CERSAI. It's a very useful website. In this, the point is that if you scroll down the website, it contains the term circulars. There you will find big circulars, how to create a charge, what are these timelines and all I got from there only. So as an auditor, we have to know the law first to the creator. So we, and so my suggestion, and that's the way I do, just don't to Google, use it from the particular website, the regulatory website from where it is happening. Now see, I've written a line here. You can see your charge by paying nominal fees. So I have seen mine. I went to the CERSAI, I've taken an HDFC home loan. I've gone to the website, I paid some 11 or 20 rupees. I put in my details and I got the whole detail, which property I have taken a loan. So I did as an auditor, just wanted to understand how this particular thing is seen. So this is a very important regulation. And again, in this, I don't know whether I've given the process. No, I've not documented it here, but I will look to tell you that it is again a lot of manual thing is there. And there was a time when I did the CERSAI upload on my own due to various reasons. As an auditor, we don't do anything, we check everything, but there was a purpose. So at that time, one by one, we uploaded the data. It's a long time back. But then there are CSV files and all those kind of files which you have to create and upload, and you have to run macros and all those things. So the challenges which I am finding, it's a big group. I think they are fully automated. But in mediocre HFCs, the challenge is automation. So we have to narrate the importance of automation to the board and the management. It is a one-time cost, but it will help you to be regulatory compliant. Then the CERSAI. This is some of the few new circulars which we are having. So it came into picture in 25 September 2023. So what does it say? Regulated entities which are secured creditors as per the so and so shall display information in respect of the borrowers whose secured assets have been taken into possession by the regulated entity under the Act. That means repo properties. So I like the circular very much because on the website you have to display or what properties you have taken. So this particular this picture which I have done is from our website, Muthoot Housing Finance. If you enlarge, यहाँ पे ये Muthoot है. So they have to do this within the 6 months from the day. So this has to be complied within the 6 months of the date of the circular, and the list shall be updated on a monthly basis. So it's not an easy task again. Because you keep on, Muthoot is not a very big housing finance, but for big HFCs, they have a lot of repo properties. So As an auditor, we check. As a chief compliance officer, he should make it as a part of checklist and check this is happening or not. And one thing which I would like to share here, which I also normally is not able to do on a regular basis, as an auditor and CCOs, we should keep on giving training sessions to even head of departments and as time permits to CEOs, that what are these guidelines. So me as an auditor, we come back that this is not happening, but what I learned in my experience, that board will be very happy if we tell, rather if we tell the CEO around what I can say before 3 months when the audit committee meeting is going to happen, that what are the things not happening, what are the challenges, how they can solve them. So there is always a tendency to solve the issue by normally CEOs, but they don't get time. So I am also trying to start a training sessions in Muthoot for even senior team members. UCIC, this is my favorite topic. In the RBI website, there is only one line written: a unique customer identification code shall be allotted while entering into new relationships with individual customers as also the existing individual customers. This is one line only, and I can say that lot of auditors may not be aware of the same, or even the people who are doing in the operation department, but this is a very sensitive topic. If you go through Google, RBI has penalized some of the entities for not having a unique customer identification code. So now what it is? One is a app ID, one is a home loan number. Those are all okay. There is some UCIC number which you have to give from the system only. So suppose I take a loan, my UCIC number is 123. Now when I come again for a loan, a top-up loan, my UCIC number should be 123 only. So one PAN number should have one UCIC. That the concept is this. Now the problem is that in lot of HFCs, co-applicants, they don't have PAN number if they are, if I may use the word, if they're housewives in a very remote area. So then in that case, no PAN number, no UCIC. So it's again a big non-compliance. So we need to strengthen the system that we take PAN number for each and every customer. So in some of the, see, if I tell you the practical issues of this, you all must be aware of the dedupe. So when you take a loan and there should be a dedupe running, when you get a top up, it should see, oh, it's the same PAN number. Let's not generate any double UCIC. But in lot of entities, that dedupe doesn't run properly. So they get a report with the one LAN having two UCICs. And then they go back and keep on changing the same. So as an auditor or as an compliance people or an operation people, you can check this at your place. And the normal issues come in the top-up loans only. And you can, if there's system issue, then the whomsoever is providing you the system, they should be instructed that this dedupe should run properly on a proper way. Risk categorization. So it sounds very simple. So these are all, whatever I am talking, these are all regulatory guidelines, but these are all very important. And in some of the entities, maybe the management is not serious on this, and in some of them entities, they may be. So the cut short, this is again from KYC direction. So the more concentration I've taken on KYC. For risk management, regulated entities shall have a risk-based approach. Customers shall be categorized as low, medium, and high risk based on the assessment and risk perception of the regulated entity. Based on the assessment and risk perception of the regulated, it's subjective. Broad principles may be laid down by the regulated entity for risk categories. Now, where this risk categorization will happen? It will happen in the system. So there are a lot of HFCs which are not even aware of this. And if you go, if you I could not find time, I would have added those penalties here. Few of the regulated entities, RBI has placed a penalty that they have not done the risk categorization in their system. So in Muthoot, I will tell you, we are having normally 99% as low risk customers because we don't see there is a definition low, medium and high risk on the RBI website. High risk are typically politicians and other people. There is a list out there. We have low risk, but that also we have to give in our system. We have to specify that is a low risk customer. And what is the criteria? See, this is what all RBI is talking, what I've written here. Risk categorization shall be undertaken based on parameters such as customer identity, social, financial status, nature of business, information about the customer's business, their location, geography, risk covering customers, transactions, type of product, services offered. It's all lots of things. The risk categorization of a customer and the specific reasons for such categorization shall be kept confidential, shall not be revealed to the customer. Though no one is going to tell the customer what risk you are facing, that we all know, but that also RBI has highlighted there. In big groups, as per my understanding, they do have a proper what I can say system where they do all these calculations and all, and they identify the risk. But in affordable housing like us, where we don't have much of the income and business proofs, we do subjective analysis, and then we need to identify that it is a low, medium, or a high risk customer. There is a other why this is happening. Next slide. Yeah, that's re-KYC. So now the re-KYC is very important. It sounds very simple and it sounds very irritating. You have, and I think you all must be getting now or then the messages normally from SBI or other banks that your eKYC is pending, please do so and fill in the forms and all. So I could correlate as an auditor whenever that message comes to me. Sometimes I reply, sometimes I don't reply. So I could see the challenges faced by that particular bank or institution. So see, let's read it. Regulated entities shall adopt a risk-based approach for periodic updation of KYC, ensuring that the information or data collected a customer due diligence is kept up to date and relevant, particularly where there is a high risk. अब now उन्होंने periodicity भी बताई है. Periodic updation shall be carried out at least once in every 2 years for high risk customers. Now see, we can correlate. वो high medium low के पीछे क्यों पड़ा है? क्योंकि उसको re-KYC भी कराना है. And once in every 8 years for medium risk and once in every 10 years for low risk. तो हमारा तो भाई 10 years low risk में जाता है. वो 10 year में भी नहीं हो पाता है. From the date of opening of account, last KYC updation. So now when we as an auditor report to the board that re-KYC is not happening, so the management comes with the challenges that we have sent the messages, we have sent the letters, we have sent the person, and the particular customer is not updating the re-KYC. There is a normal letter format where he has to write that I see the purpose of this re-KYC is basically to see that his address has changed, his mobile number, his contact details, because it's very important for an HFC to know everything updated of the customer, because tomorrow if he becomes an NPA, then the collection team where it will go, वो कहाँ पे जाएगी? एड्रेस चेंज हो गया, फोन नंबर चेंज हो गया, तो फिर अपना एनपीए बढ़ जाएगा. तो it is all indirectly related. But I'm very surprised that why the customers don't update their KYC. That means that I'm observing as an auditor. Now this line came around 2-3 years back. In case of no change in the KYC information, a self-declaration from the customer in this regard will do. For that also you need to go to the customers. But as said, SMSs, letters, all those things work out. So this is also very important and we have to keep in mind क्या है 10 है 8 है और 2 है. तो जो हाई रिस्क उनको तो 2 साल में करने का, 8 years का मीडियम है एंड 10 years का लो रिस्क है. दिस वी शुड रिमेंबर. Outsource agreements, I have just kept few lines here. You go to that circular, RBI website, notification, master direction, do control F, do housing, you will get that 2021 circular. Now this is very important. Recently, the RBI Deputy Governor webinar seminar happened in Hotel Taj in Mumbai. I attended the same, and the first thing which he started was outsourced agreements. So they're very concerned about the outsourcing which HFCs are doing. Because third party, how due diligence the third party is, that is very important. So this I will just run through, then I'll explain this. Model Code of Conduct for DSA and DMAs is a code of conduct for adoption by HFC, so and so. It is a set of guidelines to ensure and conduct so and so. So the paucity of time, I've not put that whole circular. I will request Zainab to share my email ID with all of you. Any interaction, any questions on all whatever I've said till now, I'm quite sorry to say, but expert on all those things because I've in and out. I've read the guidelines in and out. We do audit that in and out. I keep on updating, and I am a company secretary also, so I love a lot of theory. So इसमें बहुत बड़ा code of conduct है, उसको follow करना है. How many people follow? Don't know. So here I would like to say, when I keep on reading the RBI regulations and a lot of still I have also have to read in that 242 page, I see some things RBI is pushing, and as a regulated entity you think what it is yaar itna sara kya hai. But you all must be knowing, and if not, I would like proud to share with you, RBI just got some award from one of the very good regulators in the world. That award they got just now. So RBI, if they say all these things, they mean somewhere something. अभी outsource का है. The term and conditions governing the contract between the HFC and the service provider should be carefully defined in written agreements vetted by HFC legal counsel on the legal effect. Every such agreement should address the risk and mitigation strategy, so and so. Iska bhi there are around 3 pages guidelines are there in that particular circular. What I'm trying to say that in India, that's been my point of view, that agreements are just made. चलो भाई तुम्हारे से काम शुरू करना है, agreement बना लेते हैं. They don't see that RBI has specified particular 10, 12 line items which should be there in agreement. So I would request with this webinar, the people who are as an audience and who are on audit or compliance team, please go back and see outsource. Just control F outsourced in that particular circular. You will get a bit detailed terms. Vet each and every agreement of their company. You can't vet everything in one go. Every quarter take few legal, technical, RCU, then this DSA, DMA. Few of the agreements vet. That is one thing, vetting of the agreement. RBI is not keen on vetting of the agreements. He wants what it is written is getting followed also. So for that, as an auditor, we visit 2 or 3 outsource agencies every quarter. We see what is written in the agreement is followed, and there are a lot of guidelines in the agreement which the third party should have this due diligence, that due diligence, so that see it's a very sensitive. Our even loan application is outsourced. So whatever customer recording, the way we have accounting software, we have a customer software. That all is outsourced. So we need to audit them. We need to come out with the lapses, and slowly what RBI is trying to say that, see, if the outsourced agency fails, it impacts HFC to a greater extent. So this particular topic is on that, and a lot of emphasis is happening on this. Few of the HFCs got audited by an HP in the last few months. Lots of my friends are as an auditor. They informed me that NHB put an query. Why are you not inspecting the agreements as per these guidelines? They put that query. So I also an auditor now trying to, because it's a bit of a boring job and we think that agreement mein kya hai, but bahut kuch hai. So I'm trying to correlate the particular RBI point by point with the agreement. I'm telling the management to change the agreement. And again, we visit the third party, not to a great extent, but every quarter 2 or 3 we are trying to do. Aadhaar masking. Now this masking, how does it help? How it doesn't help? I really don't have much idea, because but it will definitely help in reducing the fraud. So I've just gave here 2 lines, but I'll tell you, masking a document is not an easy job, because here in Muthoot, masking a document in the system, I know there are softwares you purchase and lots of things are there. Then masking a document on paper, when you highlight it with some highlighter and all, sometimes it's visible. So as an auditor of a regulated entity, I would like to just share here that we need to tell the management and the HODs the importance of Aadhaar masking. It is a regulatory requirement. It is coming from the central government. We need to do it. We have to do it. Now, lot of portals Aadhaar were asked for, but I think those portals, suppose CKYC Net Sector, they are also accepting the Aadhaar with the last 4 digits only. So they don't reinforce regulated entity to give the whole 12-digit number. KYC ML compliance, it is a very regularly used terms, and it sounds to be very simple. Know your customer, anti-money laundering. Anti-money laundering, though it's a word coming now and then, but I just went through a lot of, I did a study on this, and I found that this AML is coming from some international organization, UN and all. They are enforcing that, yeah, follow these guidelines, we have PMLA guidelines, and their main purpose is that to drill it down to the lowest level so that this white money, black money, all these things, it gets totally stopped. So it means those only. So what is money laundering? It is simple. We all know in India what is money laundering. It's a process of taking proceeds of criminal activity and making them appear legal. So criminals want their illegal funds laundered because they can move their money through society freely without fear. Da, 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 da. See, we are a small HFC and we give normally loan to affordable housing finance. Affordable people who are sabji wala, bhaji wala is affordable housing finance is that only. I won't say we don't run risk of this. We do. But the big people who are dealing with big entities, big loans, there the risk is very high. So you have to be very careful to whom you are giving the loan. So KYC is know your customer is just not that you should know the PAN or Aadhaar card of the customer. You should see the authenticity of the document. So I have seen identity frauds happening in HFCs, and even to the extent making a copy of PAN card and all, and taking the loan from multiple banks. All these things happen despite being a very rigorous credit operations sales department, and 99% all these people are ethical. They want to do a good business, but as always said that a chore is more smart than the police. So for all those things, this AML के बाद KYC है that you know your customer from where he is coming, and the first point of contact who interacts with a customer is salespeople. They have to see all those things. And then authenticity of the documents, our CO team and all those people who check the authenticity of the documents is very important. PMLA guidelines and then FIU, these are all terms. So for FIU, we need to file FIU returns, and it is a financial intelligence unit, and a lot of HFCs file a nil return only. And then you have this PMLA guidelines, a legal framework. So these are two very important. Under PMLA guidelines, a lot of people went into jail also. So these are very important guidelines. This is just a repeat. Why we prevent money laundering? So this is simple English. Avoid reputational risk, legal risk, operational risk, terror funding, crime for infiltrating financial institutions, minimize global threat, and stop being part two offense. So I was saying about the big groups and all those things. One thing I want to highlight here, which I have not written here, there is a terrorist list which is there on the RBI website. It contains lot of names, Al Qaeda and lots of names. What RBI wants that you should put it as part of your system, and the dedupe should run on the same. And if any one of you have seen that list, I've seen that list. I've gone into detail. It is such a combo of the name and date of birth. Two, three parameters are there, because if you say that if you do a dedupe of Deepa, so it may happen that a very ethical and genuine Deepa may come into picture. But it is not only the name with some combinations they have given. So you have to upload that list. It's not a very difficult job. That list gets updated. And I know everyone must be thinking हम कहाँ terrorist को loan देने वाले हैं भाई, हमको क्या करने का है, but ऐसा नहीं होता है. That is the way opposition or means that opposite party takes the advantage. So we should do that, and it's a regulatory requirement also. Know your customer. These are simple individuals, sole proprietorship, partnership, legal entity, and so and so. Normally, we deal with individuals, HFCs. We should see the ID proof, age proof, signature proof, relationship proof, all these proofs. It's very easy to make wrong proofs in India. Sorry to say that. So our RCU team and our the quality check team, and to the extent credit team, and even the sales also, they should be very careful in checking these proofs. And nowadays there are various online portals where you can check the authenticity of the document. And again, I'm saying it's not only PAN or Aadhaar card. Age proof is something very sensitive, and in the next slide, I'm going to talk about the um, income and business proof. So we are in affordable housing business, and as I said, this is mainly for HFCs. सैलरी स्लिप, सैलरी सर्टिफिकेट ये सब आसानी से मिलता नहीं है. मिलता भी है तो half or it's genuine, because if we give loan to a sabji wala or a bhaji wala, does he have this thing? So he must be having, so business proof उसके पास क्या होगा? For that, I really appreciate the credit team of affordable housing, that they have that acumen of checking the income of a person who is not having any regular ITR or any kind of income proof. How do you check? So that is what they do. They try to correlate monthly income and all those things. But what we as an auditor would like to have a proper evidence documentation of the same, which needs to be worked upon more. Even RBI has emphasized that even one proper income proof should be there. So these are all KYC, know your customer. Because I feel very sad when banks write off big amount of NPA. You give the loans and then you write off. What is all this? Get the loans to the proper person so that you get back your money. That is for the purpose you give the loans, not for write off. This OVD is officially valid document. This word has come up. Initially, see, इसमें PAN card नहीं है. So officially valid documents are these: driving license, passport, voter ID, Aadhaar card, and this NRGS some job का कुछ है जो कहीं भी नहीं मिलता है. तो normally the people which we get is Aadhaar card. So Aadhaar card is very important. So I'm seeing it's 6:30 now. I have to run up to the fraud wala slides. This is low, medium, high we talked about. So these are few circulars which I will touch base. So this till now we were talking about all those compliances. This is a recent circular which uh, this is on compliance monitoring function, and a dashboard was supposed to be presented by the CCO to the board by 30th of June. But I got a update on this. It is not, I think, yet published. The timeline has been extended to October 31, 24. But our CCO is working on the same, and a lot of the entities are working, and it's a very good initiative. So the Chief Compliance Officer makes a dashboard of all RBI regulatory compliances, and he keeps on checking with particular entity. We as an auditor don't have the resource or time to check all the regulations in one quarter. We check some in one, some in second. So, but with this coming into picture, the compliances are being taken on the forefront. Then this is a very interesting circular which came on 13th of September 2023. Okay, let's just read the first line. The regulated entities must release all the original movable property documents and remove charges registered with any registered within 30 days of full repayment. So you all know कि वो property document तो ये नहीं मिलता इतनी आसानी से. मतलब मिलता भी होगा, but normally. So the RBI has come out with a regulation कि 30 days में you got the money, release the documents, else see they have got the penalty also. They've got this whole circular you can get on the website. So they have to make a policy also. So I've seen the HFCs, they have made a policy in which it is written that within the due closure 30 days document will be returned. Now the catch is here that the customer doesn't come for the collection of document, then what? So don't, HFCs won't be held responsible for this. What will happen that they should send they are sending a letter to the customer. See, your due date has come, your loan has been closed. Please come and collect your documents. If it doesn't come, then it is none of the issues of the HFC. So this is all the same thing. Now this is fraud and reporting. Now one submission is there. It's already 6:30. So Zainab, should I run the same or should I stop? What do you suggest? Take half an hour more.
You can run, ma'am.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm sorry it took a bit long time, but I wanted to tell with it much in detail. So it will be completed in half an hour. This is a bit interesting slide, and for better, I will run fast. So fraud and reporting, normally as an auditor, as per institute guidelines, we are
Deepa,
not a
one
fraud.
point I wanted
Yes,
to ask. Yeah, in the last
आपका आवाज चला गया सर.
Lokesh, you are not audible.
sorry, I was on mute. Yeah,
Oh,
so in the
अच्छा.
last slide
हाँ
where
हाँ.
you mentioned about the release of the movable immobile property documents, it is applicable only for personal loans, I believe.
No, sir, it is applicable to us also. Home loans को भी है.
The circular which you're referring, I think
हाँ. No,
doing
no,
this.
no. Movable property.
Yeah,
And हाँ यही वाला ना. It is
correct. So
applicable
see,
to
in the subject it says personal loans.
uh, in this I don't know. Release of mobile property. Then it
Yeah,
is no. Honey,
And
but it
again,
is
the
applicable to.
definition of personal loans also is given if
yeah,
you come down, and that also talks about
yeah. If I
Yeah,
personal
it
loans only.
it talks
indirectly
about only personal
refers.
loans. Correct. It talks about only personal loans.
I will come back to you on this. It is fully applicable to home loans also. So we can discuss with you. I'll take your details from Zainab.
Yeah.
I think Lokesh, the name was taken there. It is
Location, yeah,
applicable. You are
Lokesh
trying
Secretary.
to, you're trying to say it's not applicable to home loans. That's what you're trying to say now.
The
No,
circular is
it is marked
specifically gives.
NBFCs.
Yeah, it is marked on VFCs relating to personal loans.
Yeah,
That's what the
including
query I
loans.
had. Yeah.
There is a
Including
catch
with
in
housing
that.
finance.
It is
Hmm.
applicable to HFC also. And
There is definition of personal loans also if you come down. But this is Anson
I don't
from
know whether
WBS
I
Bank.
have copy इसमें डाला है कि नहीं, बट अगर पर्सनल लोन का डेफिनेशन आप देखोगे ना, उसमें भी मूवेबल कुछ ऐसा क्लॉज है विच आई हैव गॉन थ्रू कि विच इनडायरेक्टली मेक इट एप्लीकेबल टू इवन होम लोन्स आल्सो. That I'm quite sure of, but I would definitely would like to debate with you later on.
Sure, sure, sure.
But ये
Okay.
applicable है, HFC को भी
Oh,
applicable है.
sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. So fraud, I was saying, as an auditor, it's not our job to find fraud because if the people who are chartered accountants in this audience, we are not bloodhounds, we are watchdogs. That's a line which we study. I don't know अभी है कि नहीं curriculum में. But yes, when we do audit, it happens in that way that we get to know some of the details. And I would request auditors to be in touch with the RCU teams, have good rapport with them.
You can post your
We are
presentation.
having, it's not visible.
That's not visible at the moment.
Okay, sorry. I think वो sharing चला गया है. Yeah, just go. Yeah. So saying that be in touch with your RCU team, they have a lot of fraud cases with them, and sometimes before sanction of the case, they stop it, and but they do come it with details. So I'm not highlighted much of the cases here, only few of the cases I've done. So what is the definition of fraud and all these things? There are few further slides which I will highlight there about these, what the details I have given there here. See, this is in particular to the home loan, which a lot of people must be aware of, but let's run that through. So in technical, it's very important that you have correct valuation, you have approved, unapproved plans, demarcation unclear, agri-land acquisition, flaws in title, land and property records not computerized, then collusion, impersonation, fake document, multiple funding, तो बहुत होता है, macroeconomic cycles and all those things. But here, legal and technical. So as an auditor, because sometimes, just in the sake of running a business or booking a loan, I won't use the term that do it intentionally, but it just happens that Valuation is very important. So we have seen sometimes when the case goes to his NPA, तब पता चलता है कि भाई इसका वैल्यूएशन तो बहुत हाई हो गया था, अभी तो ये इतना है ही नहीं, इसका तो सेल ऑफ करके कुछ आएगा ही नहीं. But then when you wait till NPA and see that the valuations are not happening proper, we should not, as an auditor, we should do a sample check. And I know we are not a technical expert. The auditor is not expert in anything, but he audits everything. So what we do, there are some guidelines how a market value is determined. I've just studied all those things. On that basis, we try to correlate what valuation is technical happening on a very, very high sample basis, because we can't do this on a big scale. Fake documents and all, it is RCU. They have that team and resource. They visit the places and all those things. So we take feedback from them, and it depends how much we report, but we get an idea what wrong is happening. What are the risk in home loan? So see, it sounds very what I can say. It's very nominal, but it's important to know what are the risk in home loan. Fraudulent setup, identity takeover frauds, manipulated pre-sanction docs, compromised credit worthiness, same property applied in sanction for two customers, fabricated deeds and property documents, increments is not clear, compromise in valuations and tech reports, multiple funding on the same property, excess money pocketed by the sales executive, collection frauds. Now the question will come how we can find all these things. So there is no particular answer for this thing. So there lies the experience and as I said, interaction with other departments. And as an auditor, we also found some of the fake documents in the file, because when you keep on regularly reviewing the files, you understand how the documents are. So and then we got some electricity bill was not proper. We sent it to RCU for investigation, and we got to know yes, something was wrong there. So just we can keep, as an auditor and compliance officer, we can keep our eyes and ears open. But as an RCU, I can say that they have much more acumen to find these wrong documents in the file. DHFL का fraud जो सबको पता है, but I just thought to highlight some things here. That was the reason that everything went to RBI. So we will not go to much of the verbatim. So as we all know that a big fraud happened. See, I would like to highlight here, ये तो ठीक है, वो लोग जेल गए, ठीक है. How it get unveiled? So it was in 2019, some media reports, which normally happens in lots of cases. Then there was a special audit done by KPMG. And then they found that they have this consortium of 17 banks and they have loaned money to with 42,000 crore and all those things. So these are around 3-4 slides. I'll run through fast. And I think Zainab will share the slides. We will read it. It's very interesting. I just found it from some of the media agency. But I'm very surprised how this all happened. Such a big entity. Definitely it was hand and gloves case, if I have to say that. So इसमें पूरा डिटेल में है कि वो why I put this case to highlight कि fraud बहुत ही बड़े अच्छे से होता है. But as an auditor, if you are vigilant, as an RC, if you're vigilant and your management is there to hear you, we can stop all these things, because it's a big impact on the economy. So this all state what KPMG found, how they are correlated. फिर एक बैंक का लोन बंद हो गया, फिर it all came, everyone knows how it all came into media. So there are around, how I can say, 4 slides. So ये last slide में है कि how can be careful. See, this is very good. If a loan offer seems to be too good to be true, and I'm telling you, यहाँ minimal paperwork है. I have seen if the file is big with a lot of paperwork, that file I normally found to be something fishy in that. मतलब आधा file पे तो bank statement ही डाल दिया है. So when you want to prove yourself much more, then I have seen that things are more fishy. So the only purpose of this particular slide is that sorry, I think someone has unmuted himself or herself. और travel भी कर रहा है शायद. So this is a very important case study. I would request Zainab to share this PPT with all of you. You can go through this case study, and I just want to highlight that the frauds do happen, and we can not control, but we can be very much aware of the same. And as an auditor and the compliance officers and the operation team, the people who disburse the loan, credit team, because it's a big responsibility. We are giving money. We are taking money from banks and we are giving money. We are in a very sensitive type of business. It's not very simple that we are selling a chair and we are getting the money. Chair गई, पैसा आया, कहानी खत्म. यहाँ पे तो भाई 20 साल तक अपना पैसा अटका हुआ है और उसी पैसे से पूरा कंपनी चलता है. So this fraud is very interesting, and again and again, I think repeating, it's not easy to find them, but it's not impossible also. And with the proper checks and controls in the system, we can definitely reduce them. This is some of the way कि आप application, मतलब ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं. एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म भी अगर ठीक से नहीं भरा है, sometimes you can understand वो कस्टमर भी genuine है कि नहीं है. So you have to see how far he's filling everything properly. That is also a hint if you're doing a file audit. Then this we talk. This is on application form only. अगर overwriting कर रहा है, photograph बराबर नहीं है, ठीक है, handwriting का shade change हो रहा है. These are all very small points, but I think my audit team is also there in this webinar. I request them to check all these things when they audit the file. So these are regulatory guidelines on monitoring of frauds and reporting. So I will start from down. Attempted fraud को भी report करना है. ये तो fraud जो हो गए, आपके अगर 1 लाख से ऊपर हो गए हैं, the fraud report should be submitted in all cases of 1 lakh and above so and so. ये सारा details है with NBFC and all. 1 करोड़ से ऊपर है तब तो भाई RBI को जाओ. अगर fraud का attempt भी हुआ है 25 लाख से ऊपर, तो हमको रिपोर्ट करना है. नो दिस इज अ वेरी, इतने लोग रिपोर्ट करते हैं, क्या नहीं करते हैं, आई वुड कमेंट ऑन दिस फोरम, बट आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट टू रिपोर्ट. नॉर्मली होता है अब रिपोर्ट कर दिया तो पता चल जाएगा. And I think some of the people are aware the NHB gives a list of fraudsters, around 10-15 pages document with the name of the borrower, location, address. It normally comes to our CC or CO, फिर वो down the line हमको आती है, to me and our credit people, to check that you should not give the loan to these people. So NHB do get this data from these places only ना, जो हम लोग बताते हैं. इसमें इशू क्या है कि when you have to report a fraud, you have to report a fraud in FMR1. Lot of people must be aware of the same. Once you report a fraud, it will get closed when you close the fraud. A fraud close करने के लिए पुलिस के चक्कर मारो, मतलब बहुत ही अलग. It's normal. It's not easy to close a fraud. That's a different thing. But okay, but because of that, let's not stop reporting a fraud, because that will help other entities. And this is a regulatory guideline also, that you should report a fraud. So attempted fraud means, now what is attempted frauds? As I was telling about RCO, तो sanction case में ही अगर पता चल गया कि fraud है तो वो case disburse नहीं होता है, तो वो attempted ही हुआ ना, उसने कोशिश करी. तो those kind of frauds, normally if we are having some frauds, we do report to the ACB, but since we don't have normally 25 lakhs and more, so we don't report to ACB if required for, means this is for generally for HFC I'm talking about. These are some of the instances of fraud. How can a fraud happen? So I'll just see fabrication of income documents like income tax returns, salary slip, balance sheet. Salary slip तो मैंने बहुत देखा है, और बिना लेटर हेड के कैसे भी बना लो. So that's what I'm saying, that salary authenticity from bank statement from other sources needs to be understood. ठीक है, ये one of the way है. फिर अपने इधर है loan amount disbursed by way of check, demand draft are encashed by third party agents. Very risky. Title documents being forged. Stamp documents forged by borrower. And these particular details are from a very important website where I have taken. Colored Xerox copy of various documents. Oh, I've seen that colored documents. Then overvaluation of property. अब ओवर वैल्यूएशन के लिए तो टेक्निकल वाले को भी साथ होना पड़ेगा. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो वेरी सेंसिटिव फ्रॉड. मल्टीपल फाइनेंसिंग, कैंसलेशन ऑफ बुकिंग ऑफ फ्लैट्स, कल्यूशन बिटवीन कस्टमर एंड बिल्डर, सेल ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी बाय लोनी विदाउट क्लियरिंग एग्जिस्टिंग लोन, मिस रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ एंड यूज. ये तो बहुत होता है, पर ये लो रिस्क में जाता है. समटाइम्स दे टेक फॉर मैरिज एंड देन दे यूज इट फॉर बिजनेस. So I have read RBI guidelines. They want us to audit and use. अभी उसमें क्या audit करें भाई? उसने लिया इसके लिए, use किसी और के लिए किया. But they're very particular about end use. I've gone through the RBI guidelines. Sale of property by builder without clearing, repaying, and all of these things. So you can read these things once you get the PPT. Why I've kept this website? Penalties imposed on various HFCs on confirmations of so and so. अभी तो RBI पे इतना पेनल्टी मांग रहा है, पर ये HFC का पेनल्टी है भाई. आप NHB की वेबसाइट में जाइए, इस लिंक को क्लिक करिए, पूरा लिस्ट आ जाता है. ये एक मैंने स्नैपशॉट लिया है. So we do get penalized. So let's be careful about our acts. Now there are HFCs whose registration got cancelled also. Again, you go to NHB portal. So they are, though we are regulated by RBI, but NHB is still functioning. NHB पोर्टल में आप इधर क्लिक करिए. यहाँ पे अभी जैसे नाम कुछ तो BKB हाउसिंग फाइनेंस है. देर आर अराउंड 10-50 entities. So this is what I'm trying to say, that we have to be serious, that regulatory authorities are also serious. And with this, I complete my presentation. I really thanks the audience for hearing me out. And I would like to pass on to Zainab and Josefa sir for again giving me this opportunity. And I know, I don't know how far it was useful, but I imparted the knowledge which I had. And again, thanks to all of you. Thanks, sir and Zainab.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Deepa ma'am. Your session was really insightful. And I'm opening the question and answer session. If anybody likes to ask any question, so you can ask.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deepa madam, this is Mahesh. Actually, I'm acting as a consultant to JHS Associates.
Okay.
My first question to you, you said it's Sarsai Act, you require 30 days. That means if within 30 days, say I go to X housing finance company, and within and I get the loan, you have a time of 30 days. So in those 30 days, I can always go to home finance company, buy and get the loan.
No, 30 days of creation of charge. So you have given disbursed the loan.
So I'm telling you, if I have a property, I will go to X finance company.
Right.
Loan has been sanctioned, everything, and because you have a time limit of 30 days, and you say sometime it will, I will pay penalty and it will go up to 45-50 days. So within 30 days, I can always go to home finance company and take the loan. So
that sounds interesting. So that's a lacuna in the that sounds very interesting. I understood what you were saying. कि 30 दिन के अंदर तो फिर वो कहीं और भी जाके that's true. That's a very good point. So we need to speak to RBI on this. Yeah, I remember someone else also told me this thing long time back. कि 30 दिन में तो वो तो करता भी होगा ना भाई, multiple funding वैसे ही हो जाती है. Good point. So I can't comment on that, but it's a very valid point. So I normally jot down the points which I can speak to RBI कभी मौका मिला तो. I will put this, sir. That's a logic point.
Now my second question is, which is likely to come anytime within July or August. You heard of Digital Personal Data Protection Act?
Yeah.
Which has not been notified by yet. Correct. So because banks, insurance company, housing company, they have lots of personal data. And you talked about even masking of other.
Yes.
Right? How, because right now it has not been even notified. So how your companies going, are there is preparation going on? How you will handle this? Because rules have not yet come and even board also has not been established. So it will come definitely. So how you are going to, what is the management approach towards this?
So see, I can tell about the management approach about the entities which I am in touch with and the consultants and my audit friends. So people have started working on that, and IT teams have started working on that. And it's a very, it's not a big act, but it's a very important act. And if the answer to your question is simple, start working on that. Don't wait for the regulation to be notarized and all those things. But as per my understanding, people have started. उसमें इतनी सारी चीजें हैं ना जो एकदम से नहीं हो पाएंगी. बहुत ही ज्यादा बढ़िया एक्ट है.
And third question is how
So that's a
to take
good
care
point.
of data,
I will
how to take
request
data security at outsource vendor. Hello, hello,
आपका वॉइस डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा है सर.
hello.
हाँ
How
अभी
to
आ रहा है,
take
बोलिए.
care
अभी
of
सुनाई नहीं
how,
मुझे.
yeah, how to take care of data security at the outsource vendor? Because generally one vendor is there and he will handle so many housing finance companies, bank, insurance companies. So how you ensure that your data is not leaked to another housing finance company with the same vendor?
So I think you're a consultant. That's what you said in the starting.
No. Yeah. See, I don't know. Actually, I'll tell you my background. Actually, I was senior vice president and head intern at JHS Federal Life Insurance
Okay.
Company. And I have 31
Okay,
years
good.
of experience only in intern audit and only in BFSI
Okay.
sector. Started with ICICI Bank, then Kotak Mahindra Bank, and so on. That's all. So that's all.
No,
Because what we always see in bank, insurance company, HFC, one vendor is there and he will handle most of the company.
Mahesh, that is why this outsource wala point RBI is
Correct.
pushing it so hard. That is the only reply I can give. And as you rightly said, third party को data दे दिया वो safe कैसे है? इसलिए RBI बोल
Correct.
रही है due diligence करो. और outsourced जितना भी किया है, they have put the onus on auditors also. They have put the onus of the company also. Do the due diligence, and I can tell you in each and every NHB audit, they come and see the document. So that is the way, and this with this Digital Protection Act, sir, वो बहुत strict होने वाला है. So the onus is on us, sir, that how can we audit it too very strongly. See, in India में क्या है, अभी भी चलता है. फॉरेन में तो डेटा उनका इतना वो है, हमारे यहाँ भी उतना सेंसिटिव नहीं समझते डेटा को. इधर भी दे दो, उधर भी दे दो. So that will, this act is for that only. So Mahesh, let's see how it unfolds. Thank you.
Yeah. And this is last,
Good evening,
this is last
Deepa ma'am.
question.
Hello.
Yes. हाँ बोलिए. गुड इवनिंग दीपा मैम. किसने बोला था?
Ma'am, I am Sunny ma'am from Muthoot Small Finance Bank.
Hi,
Ma'am,
Sunny.
ma'am, I want to some clarification on document fabrication. मैं एक केस मैडम आपके साथ शेयर करना चाहता हूँ. उसमें क्या हुआ कि बोरवर ने अपना ITR सबमिट किया, ठीक है, और आरसीयू टीम ने उसने ये दिखा लिया कि वो ITR जो था वो फैब्रिकेटेड था. मतलब ITR ने उसने अपना इनकम को एक्सटेंड करके दिखाया हुआ था, बढ़ा के दिखाया हुआ था, जो कि उसने आरसीयू ने पकड़ा हुआ था, ठीक है. बट उस केस में क्या हुआ, फिर जो हमारी ऑडिटी हैं उन्होंने इस केस को किसी और क्रेडिट प्रोग्राम के थ्रू इस केस को फाइनल किया. मतलब जो पहले जो क्रेडिट प्रोग्राम था उसमें ITR का नीड था, बट जो उन्होंने सेकंड आफ्टर जब आरसीयू ने इसे पकड़ लिया तो उसको उन्होंने चेंज कर दिया और क्रेडिट प्रोग्राम उन्होंने चेंज कर दिया बैंकिंग सरोगेट मेथड में, जहाँ पे बैंकिंग ही के थ्रू ही हम लोग केस को आगे फॉरवर्ड करते हैं. तो क्या उस केस में क्या हुआ कि जब हम लोगों ने इस फ्रॉड को दिखाया तो उन्होंने बोला कि मतलब अब जो केस जिस क्रेडिट प्रोग्राम के थ्रू ये केस हुआ है वहां पे ITR की रिक्वायरमेंट ही नहीं है. तो फिर मतलब हम लोग का फिर उसमें कुछ हो नहीं पाया. मतलब ऑडिटर का जो रिमार्क्स आया तो उसमें उन लोगों का सिंपली वो निकल गया कि हमने ये केस विदाउट ITR ही प्रोसेस किया हुआ है. तो इस कंडीशन में क्या हम लोग उसको फ्रॉड का नहीं डाल सकते हैं क्या?
So you are an auditor in that entity.
नो मैम.
आप ऑडिटर है वहाँ पे?
यस मैम.
So I'll take few minutes only. So see, in this forum, I can say that Audit does everything to how to what I can say, remove or reduce a query, or what I can say, audit thing. So if I would have been at your place, I would have definitely highlighted this case. See, our job is to highlight the case to the management and the board. Now the task is them how they take up with other departments. So this was what was done was not correct. It is upfront fraud ना. तुमने ITR हटाई दिया. Now you prove that other party auditee should prove that after ITR removal जो भी आप income उसने exaggerate किया था. So suppose it was 10 and they have showed as 20. So they should prove that 20 is correct. So as an auditor you can say that sir वो 10 का 20 अभी ITR हटा दिया है. तो my question is how the 20 is there. So to that extent, you can portray it as, I won't use the word fraud, but it is some misappropriation of income, and it could come as a query in your report, and then let us see what the reply they give. So my suggestion going forward, if something like this happen, you can very in a nice way, you can document the same to bring it to the light of the management, because this is they done something wrong just to case pass करने के लिए अगर बोलें तो. So that is,
Okay.
and documenting something as a fraud is a different game altogether, because to say it is a fraud, somewhere you have to prove it. But at least as an auditor, you can see our job is to bring to the light of the management what is happening down the line. And if 99% I don't know the percentage, but the management really want to understand कि ऐसा सब हो रहा है. So you should tell them, and then let's see how it goes further.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Kapil.
Yes.
Yes.
From the my also.
थोड़ा सा धीमा आ रहा है आपका voice.
Hello. Am I audible properly?
Yeah. Tell me, yeah.
Ma'am, my question is regarding the re-KYC norms. As you mentioned earlier that company have to do re-KYC as per the customer risk categorization. So like
Right.
the management is doing from their end, and they are sending notice intimation to customer to complete their re-KYC. And if there is a case that customer is not coming for re-KYC, or the messages which are sending by the companies to customer are not getting delivered, so how we will comply with this requirement?
See, that's what I told. I think you couple. So that's what I told, that this is a big challenge, and I can't comment it that NHB or RBI may come harsh on this, because this is what even we are facing, and a lot of HFCs and banks are facing the challenge that customer is not reverting. I would like to tell you that ठीक है, अगर वो NPA हो गया है, नहीं दे रहा है, तो समझ भी आता है. There are regular customers who are not updating their KYC. So it is a non-compliance, and as an auditor, we report it is a non-compliance, and we definitely write that auditor has done their efforts, because we check the letters and SMSs also. अब उसके बाद कस्टमर को क्या कर सकते हैं, बैंक तो है नहीं कि अकाउंट क्लोज कर दें. So this is
Right.
something which is difficult, and I still, as an auditor, I'm thinking that I am thinking to visit few of the customers and ask them what challenge, why they are not. रिकेवाईसी देने में क्या है भाई, पैन कार्ड आधार कार्ड देना है. So
Right.
definitely it's a practical challenge, and we need to understand why customer is behaving like this. So that's what
And
I
ma'am,
can
what is
just.
the yes, ma'am. Ma'am, and what is the management responsibility in this case? Are they required to collect the press detail from the customers, or the attempt which they have made, like sending messages or letters to customer, are sufficient?
That's what I'm saying. See, it's a management's responsibility to do the KYC. तो अगर आप मेरे को एज एन ऑडिटर बोलेंगे, तो मैनेजमेंट का तो काम है ये केवाईसी लेके आना, बट मैंने आपको प्रैक्टिकल चैलेंज बताया.
Yes,
तो वो सिर्फ लेटर एसएमएस डाल देते हैं, तो कल को अगर एनएचपी या रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी क्वेश्चन करती है, दे हैव टू गिव रिप्लाई, दे कैन पेनलाइज आल्सो. Still they may not have done so. It is the management responsibility, but they are facing practical challenges. That is the answer which I can tell you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
No, I just wanted to thank Deepa for this excellent session today. It's a much extended session, Deepa. Normally, the Excellencia session ends with about maximum 60 to 65, 70 minutes. But you have spared your valuable time for 1.5 hours, which means a lot. And it was an excellent session with a lot of detailing on the slides and the explanations that you gave about the regulatory aspects and many other practical insights that you shared on the fraud risk framework, etc. were excellent, Deepa. Thank you so much for joining us today and giving us your valuable insights. And we hope to see you some other day as well, again on any other topic in this series. And I would like to warmly acknowledge your contribution and request everybody to put their hands together for you to give you a warm vote of thanks for this session today. Maybe you may not be able to hear everybody's hand claps. We are all in different offices and different places, but I'm sure everybody is applauding and acknowledging your contribution today. And I would like to, sorry, go ahead,
Yes, sir.
Deepa, you were
No,
saying?
please, नहीं sir, आप complete करो.
Yeah, and I would like to also thank all the participants for the fantastic interactive session that we had today. Thanks for joining us. Yeah,
So
Deepa,
Zainab, I
over to
will
you.
just
Yeah, go
take
ahead.
2 minutes. So I would like to tell all the participants. I can see the clap. See, Huzefa sir is a kind of a mentor for me. तो अगर उन्होंने excellent बोला है, अब थोड़ा पता नहीं सच है कि नहीं, but I'm very happy to hear that. And I was a bit apprehensive about this presentation, but I liked it the way I presented it. And you can get to know कि other sides interest आ रहा है कि नहीं. So thanks a lot, sir, for your words. It means a lot to me. And you know very well I want to speak and share knowledge a lot and ये forum ने मुझे opportunity दिया. तो आगे अगर जैनब हमें allow करेंगी तो हम 1-2 session जरूर और देंगे. And really thanks to the audience. There were around 82 participants. So because of you it all happened. So thanks to everyone.
These people have still not
And
reached. I think it got delayed somewhere. So I'm still
okay,
waiting.
so with that, let's conclude and have a nice evening. जो भी थोड़ी सी बची
Thanks.
है. Thanks, sir.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Deepa.
Valeria
Thank
guys,
you all.
Yeah.
Bye.
along with the brokers.
Thank
Yeah.
you, ma'am. Thank you.
Potential.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Welcome. Yeah,
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you,
Parents.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks a
Thank you,
lot.
ma'am.
Sorry.
Thanks a lot.